Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're gonna take a look at Hisuian Typhlosion. Now, this Pokemon is quite rare, especially for the Open Great League, because before this event that's currently running, that is still here for 3 days, so maybe make sure to get one of them, you were basically not able to get this Pokemon for the Open Great League. This thing is here. This Pokemon has been only available in raids, which means you have a minimum level of level 20 for those Pokemon, which also means that there was, I think, a 0.67% for getting this Pokemon for the Open Great League if you trade with a friend that has 0 friendship with you. So there was basically like 2-3 IV sets that actually would have worked for this. So basically no one ever really was able to get this Pokemon for the Open Great League. And now it's going to be a little bit easier, because during the current event, you're going to be able to find quests on Pokestops that can give you this Pokemon. The quest that you need is basically due to raids, and this is not guaranteed that it's going to be the Hisuian Typhlosion. It also can be Sableye, and it also can be a Lowdown Raichu, which I had like 3-4 times before I actually got this Pokemon, but it took me like I think 5 quests in order to get this one. You can always stack 3 of them at the same time anyway, so it's not too difficult, but definitely make sure to get at least one of them. So, here, we're going to go up today against a lot of really good opponents. Here, for example, the Mega Junko, also someone who participates in play Pokemon tournaments, or someone who always hits Legend, and someone who doesn't know that you maybe want to shield your Lapras sometimes. Like, joking, of course. Yeah, someone who also sends in some gameplay a lot of times. They always try to play something spicy, and so that is kind of cool to see something like a Shadow Nidoqueen here. But we also have our own spice, of course, with our Typhlosion, which is going to be able to still get to another Fire Punch. Typhlosion got buffed 2 times over the last 2 seasons, with a Fire Punch getting better and also the Hex getting better, which is happening this season. So it is definitely a Pokemon that got quite a bit of a buff here. It's still only on PvPoke number 500 something, but you're gonna see in today's video that this Pokemon honestly was really good. I enjoyed this Pokemon a lot, and it is quite unique in what it can do. And thanks to the Wild Charge coverage, it's honestly having a very solid place in the current meta. Here, you're going to be able, thanks to to win here because of the Primate. Primate is going to be very fast. I think I would have mostly still won with my Steelix. I think I would survive an Earth Power. I'm not too sure about it, actually, because we're both Shadow. You might not be able to survive an Earth Power there. But yeah, we're going to be able to win this battle here. Good game. We can move on to the next one. Here's a battle that I kind of misplay a little bit. This team struggles a little bit against Drapion. Drapion is definitely a Pokemon that is going to be quite tough. And let me tell you, we encounter I think like 4 on like 10 battles that we have here. So like this Pokemon is going to be on the screen quite often. But just saying here already before, I went way positive with this team. This team worked out really well. Typhlosion was a lot of fun. And honestly, there's one Pokemon that is my favorite Pokemon this season so far, and you saw it already in like 3 or 4 videos. It's going to be Shadow Steelix with Crunch as well as Psychic Fangs. I would assume that a lot of people are going to jump on the train as well. I do think that Shadow Steelix currently is one of the best Pokemon that you can run, by the way, so like feel free to copy this one. Like especially the core of Shadow Steelix as well as Primeape is something that I think is really overpowered currently. But Steelix is in such a great spot here. By the way, here, make the mistake. We see the Heterin against us. We saw the Charm coming through. I should have just went for the swap out here. I should have went straight for the swap out of the Rage Fist, because I forgot what they actually had in the lead. It is going to be the Gastly. We can still at least go for another Rage Fist, which is double boosted. But I feel like maybe it would have been better off if I just swapped out straight away. I'm actually not too sure at this point anymore, because I would have got this Pokemon out of here. No, I actually would have lost no matter what. Okay, I think actually take it back. The only thing I could have done here maybe is to try to CMP tie, but I was unaware on how much energy they had, so I tried to go just straight for my Wild Charge. As you can see here, sadly they're going to resist every single hit on our moveset, and they survive with 1 HP here, which is going to be, yeah, a loss that was not really that nice. But let's move on to the next opponent. You know what's kind of nice though? Most people just don't know the moveset. Like, literally, most people just don't know the moveset. Bye-bye. Wild Charge coming through here, knocking out that Moltres. Oh, in comes the Blasters. We can still go for another Wild Charge. And that's the thing as well, thanks to the recent buff to a Hex, you're going to be able to just outspeed Pokemon off way faster. Like, it's mad. Like, the difference for Hex, it just, like, was plus, I think, 1 damage and 1 energy. Is madness. Like, this move is so much better now. It is literally one of the best fast moves in the game right now. And so it is fun to play this Pokemon. I can definitely say it is just very much fun to play this Pokemon. Here we're going to be up now against a Blastoise. I can go for the Psychic Fangs. Let's see if they're going to use a shield. They don't. And so it's down to a Cloudslayer with a shield advantage against Shadow Steelix and yeah, Primeape. This is a core breaker for our team. But that is the thing why I like Steelix so much and why I like Primeape so much, especially the non-Shadow Primeape. I wouldn't recommend you to go for Shadow Primeape in the current meta, by the way. I don't think it's a great Pokemon. I think the normal variant is so much better because there are so many hits that you can take as a normal one, which you cannot take as a Shadow one. And we're gonna see here one of them. Because we can go for the Rage Fist, and because we are the normal variant and not the Shadow variant of Primeape, I'm well aware that I should be able to take an Earthquake from a Clodsire. And I can. I would have lost this battle ages ago already, if I had the Shadow version of this Pokemon here, but I can even go for the meme close combat to knock them out and win the battle. This is going to be a very nice matchup for us, because the fast move of the opponent is going to be resisted, and I am going to be able to go for some close combat damage here, which is going to allow us to get them really low, and they're going to go for their own charge move, but they're going to be able to use a shield and overfarm by quite a bit now. This is going to be fine, because now what we can do is we can go for the Rage Fist, which is going to allow us to get some shield from the opponent, and I can just use another shield, having the boost already on our Pokemon, allowing us to definitely get another shield against whatever they have in the back. It is going to be the Ferret. I'm taking that. I am going to go for the bait here, though, because I expect them to use a shield, and I expect them to go for a charge move basically straight away, so I swap out. They didn't go for that, but we still have Shadow Steelix, and honestly, I can just say it again, Shadow Steelix is such a good Pokemon. Like, it is such a fun Pokemon to run here. The opponent had a ginormous energy advantage. The opponent still has hard-hitting fast move and boosts its own attack up here as well. Steelix can still take them, and Steelix can still even, allow us to kind of realign. And then we're gonna see the Pokemon in the back that we all don't really like. It's going to be Drapion. Drapion is playable, by the way. It is not that this Pokemon is unplayable. The issue is I get that in positions where I can't play against it anymore, because the tools that I have left are the ones that Drapion is good against. Drapion is good against our Typhlosion. Drapion is good against us if we have no shields left. If we have shields left, Drapion can't really do anything against either Steelix or the Primeape. You're usually always going to be able to win that matchup. But yeah, we are not in the luxury here right now, and so sadly we're going to lose this battle because of, just being unlucky that the Drapion was the final Pokemon. So, we have a Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is easy for this team. We have two hard answers to this Pokemon. I'm not really too worried about it. I have the Metamar here, swapping in as a Say-Swap. That's an interesting choice. We're going to be able to take a Foul Play here. We would have been able to take a Superpower as well still at this point. Here, at this point, I wouldn't really say that we can take a Superpower, but we can go for a Shield. And again, there's a reason why I want Crunch. Crunch is going to be good here because it does some nice neutral damage, which even a Breaking Side would have not done as much damage as this move here does. And so we can go for the full farm down, and I can swap out here because I know that Ferrothorn is going to be good for two of my remaining Pokemon, so I can always kind of guarantee the alignment. I can go for the close combat here. And if they use a shield, like they're going to be shieldless now, they don't. They're just going to get rid of their Ferrothorn. They're going to have a Greninja in the back. I'm not too worried about it yet, because I think my Typhlosion has a higher attack stat, and I kind of want to see if this is actually the case here real quick, because we see them, we're going to get them really, really low. Greninja has an attack stat of 138. Typhlosion in the normal one has 131, in the Hisuian one has 142. And that's the thing for Hisuian Typhlosion, you have a way more attack than any of the other starter Pokemon, which also puts your basically overall stats, of course, a little bit lower, but it allows you to win CMP ties that you would not really expect to win with the other Typhlosion. We see it here as well. We would have never won this with the normal Typhlosion, but with the Hisuian one, with the higher attack stat, it worked out super well for us. A bit of luck against the first opponent, the first Pokemon here of the opponent is going to be the Lostheart. Lostheart is going to be very difficult for us to deal with because it has Shadow Claw, and Shadow Claw is going to be super effective against our Typhlosion. It has Aqua Jet, which is a great move to run right now. Aqua Jet is a really cool move. By the way, I want to say something as well. I saw a lot of really good submissions here for this channel. I'm going to go through them after this video as well. Maybe I'm going to have the submission later on as well. Maybe I have 3 videos again. But yeah, thanks so much for submitting the battles. If you want to submit your own battles, the link is always down in the description. Would really appreciate it. But again, here we're going to be able to get out the Swalot from the opponent. So, let's think for a second over the... we're going to have the Swalot, which is going to have charge moves of Sludge and Ice Beam. You know which Pokemon can resist both of them? Hisuian Typhlosion. And so I am kind of hopeful here that we're going to be able to go for the Psychic Fix and now just go for the full farm down and get a ton of energy on the Typhlosion. They should have not got the charge move through. That is annoying because the damage would have been avoidable. It is a bug basically. It's inconsistent if you get the move through or not. And we see our friend again here. Welcome back, Drapion. But at least I'm going to do a ton of damage here with my charge move. And I'm forced to let the move go through because I know that they still have a charge move stored on their other Pokemon. And so it's a bit difficult. I should have got the knockout here, which you're going to see as well. I think they're going to go down immediately here afterwards. Yeah, I should have got the knockout through against the Lostheart as well. Still a 1 in the end, but it was way closer than I needed to be. Okay, horrible lead for us again. We have Typhlosion against us, Typhlosion and the Clodsire against our Typhlosion, which is at least our best matchup, Typhlosion against Clodsire. And this was actually the first battle that I did, I think, because I remember the Typhlosion was in this battle for, I think, a solid 2 minutes. Typhlosion has a book set of 1578, which is absolutely low. Like, it is close, I think, to something like a Chandelure. Yeah, Chandelure has basically the same kind of stats as this one. So, you know, on how squishy a Chandelure would be in the Open Great League. So, it is kind of hilarious to see that this Pokemon survives that long. We have to use 2 shields here, but we were able to get rid of 1 Pokemon. We're going to be able to either get a shield here or get rid of another Pokemon. We get rid of another Pokemon. And now we're going to be able to align our Steelix against the final one, which allows us, again, Steelix is such a great Pokemon. We're going to be able to just lock them in, go for the Psychic Fangs. We're going to have a great time here. We're going to have the Psychic Fangs coming through. We're going to get the defense stop onto them, and they still have 2 shields. Keep those 2 shields. I don't really care too much about your 2 shields. But we have to do one thing. We have to catch a move on Typhlosion. Otherwise, I don't see a way of winning this battle. So, I'm gonna overfarm. I'm gonna swap. Didn't work out. I'm gonna try to get the shields from them. But I'm not too sure if it's gonna work out for me. And then, they CMP tied. They didn't need to go for that. They had 2 shields left. That was very silly by them. But it's going to allow us to guarantee win the battle. Like, there's nothing the opponent can do here anymore. We can survive 1 charge move. We just would have not been able to survive 2 drill runs. That's the issue. 1 drill run, totally fine. But because they are now kind of missing the energy from going for the charge move earlier, we're going to be able to win the battle and we can move on to the next opponent. Grumpig, not that great for us. Lapras here, I thought of going for a Fire Punch, and I should have went for a Fire Punch. Here, I expected them to go for a shield. Of course, they have the Shadow variant. Of course, they're gonna go for a shield. If I went for the Fire Punch, what I would have had there is a scenario where my Typhlosion wasn't debuffed. That would have allowed me to most likely get the second shield from the opponent with a shield as well. Was still forcing them to go for another charge move afterwards. My reasoning why I didn't shield my move there, and why I also went for the Rage Fist here, is didn't shield the move because I thought they would farm me down, which they most likely would have been able to. Went for the Rage Fist because I know that I need the damage output here against the Grumpig to get them kind of low enough that I'm most likely going to be farming them down with the Steelix. I have to hope there's a Pokemon in the back that I can deal with. It is Blastoise. That is a Pokemon I can deal with, and I make a mistake here. I should have went for the Crunch. Why did I not go for my main asset here, basically, that I tried to go for? Like, if I go for a Crunch, yes, my fast move doesn't do the damage, but my charge move would have just added up so much onto the opponent that I would have been able to knock them out before they would have got to another charge move here. So that was a big mistake by me, for sure. But we can still go for the Psychic Fangs here, and now there are 2 ways of trying to win this. Farm them down here, try to catch the move, try to get the shield, but I didn't get the shield, and so I am sadly taking the Dynamic Punch, and we're gonna lose this here because Primeape doesn't have enough health. At least that's what I thought. I win with 1 HP. Dusclops! This Pokemon is going to be actually okay. Dusclops is kinda a wild card. Do they run Poltergeist? Do they run Shadow Punch? Do they run Ice Punch? Do they run Fire Punch? Do they run Return? Okay, this does not run Return because it doesn't have the aura around it. So, yeah, I try to catch the move here. I let the move go through expecting a Shadow Punch. It wasn't. It was a Poltergeist. It does a ton of damage. It's one of the strongest moves in the game, and we're gonna get out the Skuntank. And I was worried here. If they have a Skuntank, it is very likely that they're going to have a Drapion, because a lot of times people are running like Skuntank only if they have a Drapion as their say-sub usually. And so I tried my best to realign myself, but I was not able to do that before they can go for the next charge move, which is silly because I could have seen that more coming. And if I expect that there is this 1 Pokemon in the back, I should have played this all a little bit differently. And like, this is the thing as well. This is the only real awkward thing about Hisuian Typhlosion. You really cannot do anything against Drapion. Drapion is a Pokemon that is basically on every team currently. And so, yeah, I was not able to hit even all the doubles here, which is a little bit silly, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's going to be basically it now for this video. Because, guess what? I can try my best here still, but the opponent is going to be able to fully farm me down. They just need to go for 1 Crunch. And that is basically it. as I don't really have the option here at all. I'm going to have to let the crunch go through, knock me out, and that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, subscribe, and also check out the videos on the screen. I will see you then. Bye bye.